Chelsea fans, with the
Why?
hope, with
Why are
the
you?
hope of going to the Champions
Why
League.
are you picking on us? Eh? Why are
Chelsea
you?
fans,
Why are you picking on
I
us?
will beat Newcastle.
No,
I
no,
can
no,
beat
no, no.
Newcastle. You
The
were
thing
on this
is,
stream and you said you're going to win Newcastle.
no, no, no. I said we can beat Newcastle,
It's okay
but
to be
we
hopeful.
all we all agree St James's Park is the hardest place to go,
It is.
considering Nicholas Jackson behaved foolish,
Before we dive into Nicholas Jackson,
right?
let's first explore how important this game was for you guys. So, if you guys had won this game, what was
Mm.
the What was the outcome?
If we won this game, we have gone third,
Mm-hmm.
right? But like I said before, 5 matches in the running, right? We went through all the whole teams. You said the highest point Chelsea we get is 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
The highest Nottingham Forest we get is 10 points,
Yes,
right?
I was wrong about that.
Chelsea now has gotten 6 points already
Mm-hmm.
out of the five remaining
Yeah.
two,
Mm-hmm.
right? Newcastle has gotten seven
Mm-hmm.
because they won Ipswich, they beat us, and they drew to Brighton.
Yes.
Good. Nottingham Forest has gotten how many points?
How many
Two
points have you
points.
gotten?
Two
Okay.
points.
Out of the 10 that I projected.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So at the end of the day, if
Mm-hmm.
you ask me, eh,
Mm-hmm.
this weekend, who had a bad weekend? I won't even put Chelsea for. Chelsea lost. Arsenal
Okay.
drew.
Mm-hmm.
But those two teams were not the ones that had a bad weekend.
Who had the bad weekend? Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest and Manchester City. Because those
Okay.
are two bottom teams that everybody has chopped. Newcastle beat Leicester City and
Mm-hmm.
Southampton properly.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea beat both of them properly.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal beat both of them.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest should be
Everybody has
beating.
beaten both
Nottingham
of them.
Forest should be beating Leicester.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
right. And Nottingham Forest had the opportunity to go up to fifth, and Chelsea
Yeah.
comes down to sixth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They didn't make use of it. So what that means now, as Chelsea just needs 4 points to finish in the Champions League. I said it on this podcast. From the remaining two games, they need 4 points. And it's done.
Who will leave the top four? Are you expecting Manchester City to leave top four?
At this point, it could be anybody, even Arsenal. And I'm happy. You know the funny thing, Liverpool has actually helped Chelsea in this running without realizing.
By not losing to Arsenal.
No, by Chelsea winning Liverpool, because that's a game Chelsea was not meant to win. To be
Yes.
honest with you,
Yes.
and
Yes.
making sure Arsenal did not win them,
Don't win. Yes.
because Arsenal now are desperate.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't get 70 points, there's no guarantee they are finishing in Champions League. As they are, if they lose their last two games,
Mm-hmm.
they might not go to Champions League. Yes. If they lose to Newcastle, and that's why I'm happy, because today's game, I wish even Arsenal lost today. We have
Mm-hmm.
made it better. You know why?
They would have been
Arsenal
1 point away from Newcastle.
1 point away from Newcastle. Then beating Newcastle becomes compulsory.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? Beating Newcastle becomes so compulsory and is advantage to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because if two of them draw, people will move forward. We'll catch
Yeah.
up with them. If
Yeah.
one of them lose, preferably everybody chasing will prefer Newcastle to lose,
Mm-hmm.
because they are closer. We can catch up with them,
Yeah.
right? Than Arsenal. It
I
doesn't
think
pay us.
I think it's
It
very
doesn't pay
interesting
us
that
if Arsenal. It doesn't pay us if Arsenal loses.
I think it's very interesting that the gap between Newcastle in third position
Yeah.
and fourth, five, six, seven, and Nottingham Forest in what, sixth position or
Seven.
seventh
Position.
position
Yeah.
is a difference of what? A difference of
4
four.
points.
So it
Or,
means
or even
so it
6
means
points. You can say 6 points.
so it
Sixth
means
position.
in a with a loss and a draw,
Mm.
from either of these teams could really affect their Champions League spot.
That's what I'm saying,
So it's
right?
almost like it's
And
up in the air right now.
it's up in the air, and people keep everybody is speaking on Chelsea, right? But the thing is that they forget that it's the Premier League. Everybody's speaking on Chelsea. Chelsea has the Adex feature. And what do I keep telling you? I said for Chelsea, it's better they have those type of fixtures because they cannot really slip up. In the Newcastle game, I was even proud of them because they were 10 man down.
Mm-hmm.
10 man. Second half, they were playing Newcastle.
Let's talk about Nicolas Jackson, because Nicolas Jackson is one player that we've had a lot of controversial, I guess, takes and opinions about him as a
Yeah,
striker.
yeah,
Is he
yeah,
good enough to play up front as a forward for Chelsea? Should Chelsea be looking for somebody a bit more experienced, something more serious? What is
yeah.
Nicolas Jackson's future, in your own opinion, at Chelsea? Like, are you keeping him? Should you be looking to selling him in the summer? What is going on with Nicolas Jackson?
If you ask me, right,
Mm-hmm.
it's just that Maresca doesn't like Nkunku.
Okay.
Nkunku is a better finisher than Nicolas Jackson. The only difference is the profile of the player,
Okay.
right? Nkunku doesn't have the energy. Nkunku is better as a 10 that can play behind that striker. He doesn't have the energy as Nicolas Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Nicolas Jackson will keep running. He
Yeah.
doesn't get tired. He keeps running.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Keep running. He can run. He can run behind 10 times, even if the ball doesn't come. He will keep doing
Mm-hmm.
it,
So that
right?
kind of like newness, chaotic forward.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you
It's
can't
good for
just.
that press.
And
It's good for the press.
he gives assists.
Yeah.
Because if as a defender you slip up, he'll get the ball. Even if he knows he cannot score, he'll
Mm-hmm.
kick out someone. He's even better at giving good assists,
Mm-hmm.
right, than scoring, if you ask
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
right? But the thing is that you can't really rely on that. Like a game today, he was frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, even if you were to lean your hand on someone, look at the ball and lean your hand. It's not a red card, right? If he the way he went, he looked at the ball and he's jumping and trying to. There's an attempt, it feels like he's trying to go for the ball, but he leaned into the. They won't give him a red card for that. But they gave him a red card simply because he looked at Spen Botman and he was not. His eyes was not even on the ball. His eyes
And
was on the
he
man.
directly went for
Yes, the jugular, brother.
trying to kill
You're
him.
not playing wrestling. It's not
trying
wrestling,
to
man.
they're trying to take him out.
God. I was just so disappointed. Like,
I've been hearing some things online with people saying they don't know if they trust Maresca and Chelsea. They don't know if Maresca is good enough. Maybe Maresca is like another Arteta. People
and
are talking about Nicolas Jackson and now they don't trust him as
the
striker.
funny, the funny thing that pains me.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately they started. I'm not an experienced coach as Maresca, but I already saw there was a problem from the first minute because Newcastle were playing 3-3-5-2. If I
Mm-hmm.
remember, three
Mm-hmm.
five two. So what that means now is in Chelsea's midfield, basically, you had 5 people doubling up on just 2 people,
Mm-hmm.
Lavia and Enzo Fernandez,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's no outlet. Immediately, they are prone to lose balls. Do you
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm saying? The press was a bit aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
There was a mismatch.
Okay.
It took him a long. Had it been he switched the formation, I don't think Nicolas Jackson would get that red card
So this is
because
this you feel the problem is from the formation and not from the act of the player.
no, no, no. What I'm saying is he was frustrated because he wasn't getting the ball enough. And that's because of the way Newcastle set up.
But I still feel like players' behavior should have nothing to do with the coach's tactics, right?
No, no, no. It
Regardless of whether or not you're not getting the ball enough, that should still not influence
no, but
your level of
as
frustration.
it happens for strikers. They are human beings, they get frustrated,
Yeah,
right?
but
Chelsea was not playing well.
Mm-hmm.
They could not play. They could not play because of the formation they came out with.
But you cannot play because of the information you came out with. That doesn't mean you should get a red card and put your team at risk of losing the game.
I agree with you, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
I feel like there's only so much that you can blame the coach
okay,
for.
okay. So second half, he comes back with 10 men. He switches the formation, and
Mhm.
what did you see? Newcastle were confused.
No, but he has to. But you would have to now. Like you have to adjust for the red card. Obviously, coaches at halftime they will give some tactical changes as expected.
Yeah,
But
but
I still
if
feel like the
yeah,
point the take that you're making, linking like Maresca's tactics, Jackson's lack of getting the ball, linking it to his behavior and getting a red
so
card
okay,
is
no,
so much of a reach to
no.
me.
So what I'm saying now is let's take it back.
Hmm.
If after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, the form you see clearly that the formation is not working, their formation completely nullifies yours, and you can't play. Why don't you switch it at that point? You are not even forget about the red card now. If you switch it at that point, switch it to what you had in the second half.
Hmm.
Switch it at that point. You press Newcastle. You start to
Some
press them and start to dominate them. When you start to dominate them, there's a less chance of Nicholas Jackson getting a red card. But even if he gets a red card, right? Before he even gets a red card, he got red card in maybe 30 something minutes. Before he
mhm.
gets a red card, Chelsea will have a higher chance of scoring.
But sometimes, you start a game with a certain tactics, right?
Yeah.
You've done all the, they've done all the, trainings. They have the tactics they want to use against Newcastle. You come into the game, you're trying to execute the tactics, it's not working. Some coaches want to give it some time. Might be they are losing their heads. They are not doing what I want them to do. They're not
Mm,
following the instructions. They just need to maybe move the ball a little bit faster. Coaches
mm,
don't want to just get into the game 10 minutes while being dominated and feel the need to switch it up. The major changes they want to make, in my own opinion, is they want to just make sure the players are executing what they said by shouting out and giving instructions. Maybe you can give some maybe one or two tweaks, but you don't want to make so much major tweaks at that point in time. You want to still encourage the guys to play the game the way you guys had envisioned it in training, in practice. And then at halftime, you can give the major change. You can do the major changes, right? You can do the major surgical changes with the tactics and say, you know what, now I want you to, instead of you committing too much, I want you to maybe stay in this space, protect this
mm.
space, drop it, maybe make some players drop it a little deeper, or tweak the formation to make it make more sense. But my own take on this is Nicholas Jackson's act is independent of Maresca.
He's
I don't
independent,
I don't think that
but
I don't think that you can blame Maresca 100%. Like you can blame Maresca for what Nicholas Jackson has done. Yes, you can blame Maresca tactically that whatever he brought forward in that first half, the way
mm,
he set up the team in that first half, Eddie Howe had a better tactic and that's worked against them.
yes,
That I agree with, right? I watch
mhm,
I watch parts of the game and I saw some
yeah.
things, right? But at the end of the day, what Nicholas Jackson did to me is independent of the coach, and he let his team down.
I agree he's independent, and I don't agree because you
Okay,
can't really say it's mutually
exclusive.
exclusive
I feel like it's
because
mutually exclusive, but
there's an element of that he let his team down. That Nicholas Jackson, this is his first red card in Chelsea.
mhm,
He's not like a Costa that Diego Costa that fights or this. Do you get what I'm saying? He gets
mhm,
yellow card
mhm,
normally when he's frustrated,
mhm,
right? Or when he goes and he starts to talk to the referee, they give him a yellow card. That's normal, right? But that elbow was frustration, him not getting the ball. But you can also say, as a striker, it's your duty to stay focused, even if you don't get the ball. Stay in the game and don't behave stupid,
that's exactly my point.
right? So
That's exactly my point.
first, you can throw that line and say, okay, Nicolas Jackson, you should have behaved more matured. You don't get the ball, be patient.
Mhm.
Be patient, you get the ball. And what was the major tweak Maresca did? he removed Madueke, who is less defensive. Like
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't really know how to track back. Puts Fernandez
Mm-hmm.
wide, made it 3-3. Practically was playing 3-5-1,
Mm-hmm.
right? But at the same time, all of them, Kopama, Fernandez, Lavia, Caicedo, he now moved Caicedo inside the middle, right? He was playing 4-5, right? They were just too mobile. Do you get what I'm saying? They were mobile, they were exchanging. So it was not more a case of you are going to stay like in the first half. They had a plan for Madweke. Madweke is on the wing. They have somebody there, they'll double up on him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get that wing back will follow Madweke? On this side, they were following what's his name? Forgotten his name. On the right hand side, the guy that played for Wolves last year, right?
Neto, Pedro
Neto,
Neto.
Pedro Neto, right? Second half was different because there was no out and out an out and out winger that you are doubling up on. It was Cucurella most of the time.
SSB, welcome.
Yeah, was
Mm-hmm.
Cucurella. From Cucurella, sometimes it's Enzo Fernandez. So that they were just too mobile and they were playing quicker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, why I say Chelsea are not the biggest losers this weekend is because St. James's Park is the most difficult place to go, and
I
that's
still think you
that's
guys. I still think if you're really going for this Champions League spot, you guys should not have lost the game. Highest, you guys
okay.
should have left
No,
St
no,
James's
but
Park with a draw. Even
no, no, no.
Liverpool, we went
But
to St
with
James's Park. We
but
went to
with
St
a
James's Park, and
with
we left St James's Park with a draw.
yeah,
You
but
guys
with a
are
red
buying
card,
another.
with a red card is more difficult.
We had a red card last season at St James's Park, and we found it with 2 goals down. We came back in that game, or 1 goal down. I think we came back in
And
that
the
game, and
teams
we
are
won the game two
different.
one.
Liverpool is different from Chelsea, right?
No, so at the end of the day, like it still goes back to what I'm saying. We've talked about Maresca, we've talked about tactics,
Mm,
we've talked about Nicolas Jackson, we've talked
mm,
about him losing his head. It all goes back to the same thing that we are saying.
mm,
Yes, we expect with the expectation, if you're really going for that Champions League spot, the expectation from at least for me is
mm,
Chelsea is going to St. James's Park is going to be a tough game,
mm.
but you guys are not going to lose that game. You guys are either going to draw the game or win the game.
Yeah, but at the same time, you consider Chelsea's running. They've not done bad till now, right? One loss in the last 5 games is not bad. It's not a
So
bad result.
so Chelsea plays Man U next.
Which are,
Man U lost against West Ham.
Man U are currently resting players with Tottenham, right? Those ones are not really interested in the league. Is that final they're interested in right now?
They've given up because they want that
Yeah.
they want the European trophy. They want the European
Welcome,
trophy.
SSB. Yeah. So and another thing is, to me, Man City and Nottingham Forest were the biggest losers this weekend.
I don't know, man.
Because drawing, no, to be honest, drawing against Southampton, to
Mhm.
me, you say you lost 2 points, but to me, it's even worse than that. Because those are tips in the bottom. Man City is playing Bournemouth next game. Bournemouth is more difficult. It's a more
Bournemouth,
difficult opposition.
Bournemouth is tough.
Bournemouth, they need how do I say it now? Bournemouth needs the points to finish to go to Europe. So they are going to be playing for something. That's why Guardiola, you could see it on his face. That disappointment, like, was a huge blow for him.
I feel
Do you
like
get?
Pep's tactics are now old. Like everybody expects how he's going to play, and I don't really see Pep has not really tweaked anything or made any major changes. It
Mm.
just feels very. It just feels almost you watch Man City, you just know what to expect from them. And I think
Hello, Douglas. Yeah.
teams already have something for him at this point.
Mm.
I don't watch the match live, but from the highlights, I think the red card to Chelsea was harsh. Yellow card should have been enough. A red card in the first half can
Alter the
total.
game. And you know the funny thing, the
Mm-hmm.
thing that pains me the most is, if it was the other team that did that to us, they
Mm-hmm.
probably would not give them red card.
So you feel the ref was unfair?
The ref gave a yellow card. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know who was in VAR, but it's obvious the person in VAR does not like Chelsea. Rob Jones, the fourth official, the guy that keeps time, doesn't like us. I know that. Do you get? Because there was a match, the match we played with Bournemouth, which we drew, right? In that game, one of their Bournemouth this thing pulled Cucurella's hair. VAR sent Rob Jones to the monitor, and Rob Jones said it was not a red card. Pulling of hair is not a red card. So, and we've seen several times. I've seen several times in games. Enzo Fernandez has been elbowed, similar to that. He's not been
Mhm.
given red. They've not been given red card, yellow. Do you get what I'm saying? So
So you
I
feel
can
the red card? You're saying the red card was harsh.
if to me, if it was a coach like Anthony, if it was a referee like Anthony Taylor that was refing the game, Anthony Taylor will probably give a yellow card.
The same Anthony Taylor that blew free kick against Liverpool when we scored against Arsenal in the dying minute of the game. That same Anthony
Yes,
Taylor.
yes. If the funny thing is that we've always hated Anthony Taylor, but of
Mhm.
recent, he's always fair.
So I think you got muted at some point. But yeah, let's actually talk about the other games. We've talked enough about
Yeah,
Chelsea.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought you guys were going to win, or I thought you guys were going to draw at least this
I
game.
was not
But
expecting to win.
I knew you weren't going to win in St. James's Park. I said it
Yeah.
on I
So
mean, those that
yeah.
were on the stream that remember when I said this, I said that Chelsea will not win in St. James's Park. It's
Hmm.
really impossible. Not this Newcastle, not the form. To be honest, I'm kind of happy Newcastle won Chelsea because I did not want Chelsea to be in the top four. And I said it on the stream that Newcastle have had a better season than you guys, in my own opinion. Newcastle had a better campaign.
We'll
They have a
see.
better season. They are
We'll
in
see.
the top. They are third. They are in the top four.
We'll
What
see.
what Arsenal should be scared of right now is
Hmm.
not dropping out of that second spot, because the way it's looking right now, if they did
Hmm.
not get a draw against Liverpool, it would have been a 1 point gap between them and Newcastle. Right now, it's a two
Yeah.
point gap. That's just a game. If Arsenal lose their next game
Okay. So
and Newcastle win, they
let's
climb
go to
them.
the next games for everybody.
Okay, what's the next
Right.
game? And guess what the
As
next game
as
is?
Arsenal plays Newcastle.
Exactly. Fantastic.
So who do you think is going to win that game?
It's in Arsenal's house.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest with you, like, Arsenal, they've not really had the best form of recent, right? They've not really been doing too bad, but they've
Mm.
not really had the best form of recent. I don't see Arsenal losing that game. I see that
Arsenal
game.
is not going to lose that game.
I see that game as one where it's Arsenal's game to lose in terms of, like, you have the home advantage. I think
Mm.
they have what it takes to beat Newcastle, and
To be
they should
honest, I
just beat
saw I
Newcastle.
saw Newcastle in the second half. Right?
Mhm.
They are not going to beat Arsenal playing like that. They are not going to beat. They were at home playing against 10 men with that kind of performance. No,
Mhm.
they are not going to beat Arsenal. They are not going to beat Arsenal. They are not even going to beat Everton. Everton is their last game. The way they played with Chelsea in the
The,
second
the,
half,
the Everton one is hard to say, but I can
they
I
are
can
not
see
going.
them not I
They
can
are
see
not
them
going
not
to.
winning against Arsenal, but the Everton one is a stretch.
Kingsley,
It's a stretch.
Everton. See, Everton right now, is very difficult. They are not playing for anything, but they are so difficult to beat.
Of course, but
Right?
I
So
still
even in those
I
in
still
those
don't
two
I still
games,
don't I still feel like Newcastle, they are capable of beating Everton. I
I,
see the
they,
Arsenal game is hard, but Newcastle can beat Everton.
okay, but they don't beat Everton normally. They struggle. And the thing with Newcastle is that they struggle against teams like Everton, Brighton. We mentioned it, Brighton.
Mhm.
They struggle to get wins. That's why I feel like their season has just been okay. Right? In the
Yeah.
last two games, if you ask me to predict, I'll say the best they will get is 1 point from the last two games.
From these next two games,
Yes,
I think they'll be able to get 3 points. I think they
three.
should be able to
Okay.
get three
Against
points.
who? Against Arsenal.
Like, even four, I think they can draw Arsenal. They can beat Everton.
They're not
Yeah.
getting a draw against Arsenal.
I
They
think so. I think Newcastle can
beating.
draw. They can draw Arsenal and beat Everton. But
Okay.
anyways, Arsenal they kind of have to win. If they don't win that game, they are out of the second position,
That's what I'm saying. As
and
Newcastle is not winning that game,
they've
they
had a
won't.
very that will
Yeah,
make that will show that they've had a very very terrible season. Like no trophy, and
that's it.
they don't even finish second, right? But after that game, let's talk about Man City's game. Man City plays Bournemouth. That's going to be a very hard game for Man City.
Yeah,
Bournemouth, they are not an easy side. They are not an easy side.
yeah.
Chelsea, Man U. I think Chelsea beats Man U. I think Chelsea beats Man U. Chelsea's at home. Man U, they've kind of given up hope on the Premier League. They are kind of
Mm.
looking for that Europe. They are looking forward to winning Europa League. So I kind of feel like, yeah, Chelsea have what it takes to beat Man U. So I see Chelsea getting that win.
It will not be an
Um,
easy game, though.
it's not be an easy game, of course. Of course, it's not be an easy game, but I still think that Chelsea they are more than capable of getting a win in that game. Um, Aston Villa, Tottenham,
Even Aston Villa would win that against Tottenham.
of course, because the focus is Europa.
Yeah.
West Ham, Nottingham Forest.
This is another game Nottingham Forest will still drop points.
I think so.
I'm sure about the best they'll get is a draw.
I think so.
Because
I think so.
I don't know why they against the bigger teams.
Hmm.
It feels like they have a better showing, right? Because they can sit back. But when like teams in mid-table that normally they've been beating teams in mid-table, right? But teams like Brentford, they can't sit back against them.
I actually thought that Nottingham Forest were going to do better than they did towards
Yeah,
their last couple games. I really wanted them to get that. I know obviously it's Nottingham Forest, but I really wanted them to get that Champions League spot. I think Nottingham Forest in Europe next season is something that competing in like Europa League or Champions
yeah,
League is something I really want for them. I think the players have had a very very incredible campaign this season, and I feel they deserve that Champions League spot. Or
yeah.
you
But like SSB said in the previous lives, right?
know.
They are one season away from Champions League.
Yeah.
They need to go to Europe first.
See how it's like.
See how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Before talking of Champions League, we don't want to waste that spot. Be in
No,
Europe
it's not
first.
a waste. It's not a waste. I don't think it's a waste. I think Nottingham Forest have what it takes to go far, at least in Europa. Like they can
In
go
Europa, yes.
Europa League. They
Not
can
in
go far.
Champions League.
Look at Man U. Look at Man U. Man U in the Premier League, they are about 16th on the table. Or where are they on the table?
Mm,
Are you telling me that Nottingham Forest cannot go to Europa League and have a decent enough
season.
see decent enough like run
Yeah.
if you compare to like what Man you have had? They can. I think they have what it takes to do that.
Possible. Yeah. Yeah.
They have what it takes to do that. But it's crazy. What's your final top five? Looking at everything so far, 2 games left. How do you think the top five will finish?
My final top five is Man City will get 4 points from the last two games.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That will take them to 69.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Newcastle will get only 1 point from their last two games.
Take them to
That
63.
will take them to 67.
Oh,
Chel-
67. Okay.
yes, Chelsea. I'm tipping Chelsea to get 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying? Win Man U and draw with Nottingham Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? Or maybe even 3 points. That's
Mm-hmm.
66.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? But I'm thinking it's going to be 4, 67.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Aston Villa, to me, can get 6 points in the last two games.
Mm-hmm.
People are not looking at them, but they can get 6 points in the last two games. Right? If they get 6 points, that takes them to 69. Yes, takes them to
Is it
69.
you actually think Aston Villa will finish above Newcastle?
Yes, that's what I believe. Yes. Okay, when Aston Villa playing Tottenham and Arsenal and Newcastle playing Arsenal, who has a better chance of winning?
I think Aston Villa, of course.
Good. So that removes Newcastle. The last game against Everton is not going to. You see, it's not going to be an easy game. Nottingham Forest lost to Everton in their house. They are currently Everton are spoilers in these last days now.
So the 1 point you're talking about is if they draw Everton,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay. What of Man City?
I said Man City will get 4 points.
So you're basically saying Liverpool, it will finish what? Liverpool first.
Mm-hmm.
City gets 4 points. That puts them at what? 69. So Arsenal,
Mm.
Man
What
City,
my top five, if I'm to pick, it will be
Aston Villa, that's Newcastle.
Arsenal,
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal. What's Man City on 65, 69? Liverpool, Arsenal,
Mm-hmm.
Man City,
Mm-hmm.
Aston Villa, and Chelsea. That's my top five. Then Newcastle sixth, and Nottingham Forest seventh.
It's so funny that you added Chelsea in top five.
I added them because out of everybody, they are more consistent than the rest.
I think Newcastle will surprise us. I think it's going to. I think Newcastle will draw
Newcastle has
Arsenal.
they've really not surprised me because
I
they are
think. I
doing
think. I think they will draw Arsenal, but I
they
still
can
think.
they
I
can
think they will
they
draw
can
Arsenal and they
they
will beat.
cannot.
They will beat Everton.
I don't know why you hype. I've seen these players before. They will not get anything from that Arsenal game because that is the game Arsenal will solidify their Champions League qualification and take themselves to
Mhm.
second. They win that game, they are second.
I don't see them. I don't see them winning that game.
Okay, if you say,
I think they have what it takes to win the game, but I
if you
just feel
say,
like Newcastle have what it takes to draw Arsenal. And I think
if you
Newcastle
say,
can draw Arsenal. I think they can draw Arsenal.
and
So
you think
if
they can, you think Newcastle can beat Everton?
I think Newcastle can beat Everton. To me personally, I'm tipping Newcastle to get 4 points. If they don't get 4 points, I tip them to get 3 points. I think they could have a loss and a win,
A
but
loss and a win.
a loss and a win. But
Mm.
also think that they could have a draw and a win as well. So I still see them
If you
getting four
say,
points. If they get 4 points right now, that puts
mm,
them at what? That puts them at 70 points.
if you say, but I don't think they will get up to
It puts
that.
them it puts them at 70 points. If they get to 70 points, let's say they drew Arsenal. Arsenal drew that game, so that puts them at 69. They win their last game. That puts them at what, like 72. So I still think that's possible. I think it still could play out in that way. But
Okay.
my top five, honestly, is Liverpool,
Mm,
Arsenal,
mm,
Newcastle,
mm.
um,
Man
or,
City.
or Man City, Newcastle. Either one could swap,
Mm.
and um, and I think Chelsea.
And you know that
If
Man
if not
City
if
is
not
below
if not
Newcastle.
if not Aston Villa, if not Aston Villa, because what's Chelsea's points? Chelsea 63 and Aston
Yeah,
Villa is 63 as well.
63.
So
Yeah,
I think Aston Villa might climb you guys,
I don't think so. We'll see.
because Aston Villa beats. Okay, you guys are playing Man U. I think Man U, that game is a win or draw. That game is a win or draw, right?
Okay.
Is it? Although I know Man U, they're arresting people.
Mm.
That game feels like a win or draw for you guys. Let's say
Where
you
was
guys let's say you guys win that game, right? You
okay?
guys get that 3 points. It puts you guys at 66. If Aston Villa win,
Mm.
no, if Aston Villa will beat Tottenham,
We
Aston
are
Villa
still on
beat
66, 66.
66, 66, right? It comes down
Yeah.
to the final day or even goal difference, right? So
Mm.
that final, the final game? The final game for you guys is against
We're
who?
going to Nottingham Forest's house.
Because you guys will not win there.
You
So
think we are not going to beat Nottingham Forest?
no,
Okay, if you say so. Is Leicester City that got a draw today in
did
Nottingham Forest's house?
did Nottingham Forest lose? No,
Nottingham Forest lost to Everton recently in their house.
doesn't matter. I don't think
Okay, if
Chelsea.
you
I don't
say
think Chelsea with their tactics and their style of play have what it
okay,
takes to beat Nottingham Forest at home. I don't think
if
so.
you say so.
So that game, I give you guys that game a draw or lose. Either you lose that game or you draw
the
that
issue
game.
is that there's actually more disrespect to this Chelsea side.
Of
That's the problem.
course, of
We are,
course,
we are currently underrated, which is
of
good.
course.
Uh-huh.
You guys are underrated, but of course, I think the most points you guys are getting from these next two games is 4.
Okay.
The hope is to get was 6, but I think you guys will get 4 points out of your next two games. And if you guys get
Well,
4 points out of the next two games, I think it depends on who Aston Villa plays at the end of the day. Who does Aston Villa play in their last game?
I don't even know. Let me see. Aston Villa.
In their last game, if they don't play any major side in their last game, I think Aston Villa have what it takes to get 6 points in that last game. What are you guys' predictions in the chat? You guys, what do
Oh,
you
their
think
last game is Man U.
is Man U?
Hmm. But it's after Man U plays the European Cup.
It does not matter.
It matters. You know
Where
why I
is it?
say,
Man U at home or is it Nottingham Forest at home?
let me see.
Is it Aston
It's
Villa at
Man
home?
U at home.
Okay,
So
matters. Okay,
it
okay.
makes a difference
Look for
because if Man U loses the Europa Conference Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a bigger chance. There's a bigger
That,
chance.
that was the next thing I was going to talk about
Yeah.
actually.
There's a bigger chance of
Mm-hmm.
Man U beating Aston Villa. Do you get what I'm saying?
But looking at how Man U played today, like
It
I
was
don't,
bad.
I don't
Yes,
know.
I saw you
There's
saw you
just it
saw
was just
Nottingham Forest owner.
a shit show. Yeah, confront Nuno. Yeah,
Ah,
it's.
I think he was disappointed.
I feel like there was an expectation to beat Leicester. I know,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
but
Like,
still, like looking at the overall picture,
yeah,
I think Nottingham Forest have had an amazing campaign, so it needs to chill. United is going all in for Europa. Yeah, they are going all in. Imagine they, let me give you, let's give you the stake. Imagine United go all in for Europa only to lose.
ah,
That would be the biggest clown show I've ever seen. You
then
guys rest your
it's
players,
bad.
go all in for
It's
Europa
bad.
just to lose to Tottenham.
That would
That
be
would
bad.
be really that would be in fact it would be a glorious end to United season. It'd be one of the worst seasons they've ever had.
That would be
Finishing
bad.
finishing was 16th on the table and then going trophyless. Fantastic. I wish that for them.
16, they could still finish 17th.
I wish that for them.
Remember, it's 1 point that separates
Yeah.
both of them.
You know me, I don't like Man U fans. I don't like Man U for anything. So I really want that. I'm really going to hate watch that final. I'm going to
It said
anyway.
Bilbao rested their
Anyway.
players to get smacked by Man U.
I know the rest of the players to lose to Man U. So Man U resting
Let
players
them
means
win.
nothing.
Yeah,
I actually wish they rest this old resting of players. Then they lose. I know.
it feels like there are a lot of beefers against Man U. What's happening
Of
here?
course. The way I would
Do we
celebrate the
have
guys,
any Man U fans? Dan,
bro.
this
When
is when we
when
need you.
when Liverpool won the league, I
Hmm.
brought my champagne on the stream and I was drinking my champagne and celebrate. I will celebrate the same way. The same way. Once Man U lose this Europa League, I will bring champagne on the
Damn,
stream
I
and
feel like the
celebrate the
whole
same way.
world wants them to
I
lose.
want them to lose. I want them to lose.
The whole of
So,
England.
but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tottenham right now, they're just.
Bad. Yeah, they're really bad.
I don't know.
There's no
They're
for
just weak.
Tottenham. There's no appetite. It
As
feels
sad
like
as it seems, Man U
yeah,
feel like they have what it takes to win it more than Tottenham.
exactly.
Even though at the back of our mind we're like, I don't want
Wishing
Man U to
Tottenham
win. I
wins.
wish I wish
Yeah.
Tottenham wins. I just don't think Tottenham have what it takes. I don't know. I just feel like they don't have
But
what
the
it
but
takes.
the problem is Tottenham, they turn up when you don't expect them to turn up is when they turn up.
But what the people are available to play that day? Is Son injured or he's available to play?
They don't even
Is
need
Madison
Son.
is
Son is
Madison going to
currently
play?
washed up now.
Madison is going to play Kulusevski
Yeah.
possibly, but
Yeah.
we'll see. That I think that final will be
We can't really predict.
it will be
Yeah.
tough for sure. It will be tough for sure.
But
So
one person is going to have their season in a disaster. It's a disaster. You know what I even think for Posokoglu? For the remaining two games, he should try and get maybe a draw and a win. Or a win. Do you get what I'm saying? That will boost because after they play Aston Villa, is when they go for the final. So it's
Mhm.
better you win the game, even get a positive result
Mhm.
before that game. It helps, right? But
Yeah.
the thing is that you don't want to go and go all out for that game. Then 4 days later, you are playing in the final.
Let's play this mini game. Who are the coaches,
Hmm.
in your own personal opinion?
Yeah,
How many coaches do you think in the season, in the league, right, in the EPL, will
yeah.
lose their job at the end of this season?
The ones that have lost their job, lose their job, they've already lost it. I don't know.
You don't think anybody will lose their job? You still think
Um,
Postecoglou will stay?
oh, Postecoglou is going.
Okay.
He's going.
Who else?
Maresca, if Maresca does not finish in the Champions League, anything below fifth, these
Hmm.
people might, I don't know, they might sack him.
You think so?
You don't know these people. Pochettino finished sixth, right? If
Mhm.
he finishes sixth, he knows they are going to let him go because there's no excuse for him. There's no excuse,
Damn.
right?
Hmm.
Now they said they are not going to make a decision on his future till the end of the season.
For
When
Maresca.
Yes, when a club says that they want to watch to see where you finish, they were really disappointed with Pochettino finishing sixth.
Mm.
There was a huge disappointment, but even the disappointment was the final. And what will save his job
Oh.
is a trophy. If he wins something, then this Todd Bowley and their clique, they have something to hold on to. That
Hmm.
there's a trophy. We've spent a billion.
Almost like a return on
Yeah,
investment type of
yeah,
thing.
we spent a billion. We got Conference League. We spend 2 billion, we get Champions League. Do you or trust trophy? Do you
Hmm.
get what I'm saying? It's better than Arsenal's return currently.
Fair.
Do you get? So at the end of the day, Ruben Amorim, we don't know, right? I don't feel Man U has really improved. I'm thinking they are worse. You say you should give him preseason. I
I
don't
think
think
I think give him more time, but yeah, but they look like, damn, they look horrible.
they don't look good at all.
Man, they look horrible.
They don't look.
I even feel like under Ten Hag they look better.
Yes, they were more rugged and more stubborn to beat.
They were harder to beat. At least like Man U, like under Ten Hag, they were so unpredictable. They could win, they could
Yeah,
draw, and
yeah,
honestly, under Ten Hag, they were like what, seventh? They were like eighth, seventh. They were kind of like making their way up the table, trying to get to like sixth.
yeah,
They
yeah.
were still a banter club. We're still bantering Man U, but it wasn't this bad. Like
Bad,
right now,
yeah.
it's just
When
so
he
bad.
left, they were like 11, 12.
Or so now
And
it's even
the points
worse,
difference between them and maybe seventh was maybe like 1 or 2 points.
and now it's worse.
Right? Now they are
Anyway,
16th.
what happens if Man U wins? If they win Europe, I mean, they win a trophy. At least they don't have as bad of a season as some people that might finish in top four but go trophyless, I guess. But that's if they win. I definitely one thing that for sure will happen if Man U wins is that I definitely will not be happy. But my happiness is not a priority in this game, I guess. I don't want
Mm,
Man U to win still, but yeah.
this
But I
one.
guess that's what happens if we win. Anyways,
Should we go to Spain? I don't know did anyone watch
I watched the El Clasico. Yes,
Barcelona
I
Real
watched the
Madrid?
I watched the game.
How was it?
I watched Barcelona Real Madrid. Did anybody in the chat? Did anybody watch Real Madrid? If you did, let us know what you think of the game.
Ah,
But yeah,
okay.
I watched Barcelona Real Madrid. I saw the Mbappe hat trick.
Ah,
Right?
God.
Or was it
He,
a
he,
hat trick?
he
Yeah, it was
had
a hat
trick. He
trick.
had a
Yes.
hat trick, but at the same
He
time,
ended 4-3.
yeah,
So
they lost.
thoughts on that game? I think coming into the game, I watched part of yeah, that's nice. Yeah, coming into the game, right? I think
Mm,
Real Madrid had a plan, and
mm.
their plan was, we want to make those runs, all those running behind. We want to really exploit that high
They
line.
scored first now.
They did. They
Yeah.
scored first, right? We want to really
Penalty.
like they scored the penalty, then Mbappe scored a really nice goal. Right? That goal that Mbappe scored, I was like, yeah, this Mbappe is showing us that guy.
I can do
You know,
something.
man, that guy is good. Mbappe is really good. So of course world class. But Yes, exactly. That's where I was heading. I was not even heading there for just Real Madrid. I was heading there for the both of them.
Both teams.
At
Yeah.
some point, I'm like, is this a basketball game or what? Are you sure these are soccer teams? Because
Or basketball
what
game.
kind of nonsensical goals are they
Defending,
scoring?
scoring
Like Barcelona and this highline thing they are doing is
is rubbish.
disgusting.
If they were in the Premier League, they would have been in huge trouble.
If they were,
Is in fact, Postecoglou should even just go to Spain. He might succeed there.
do you know what is saving Barcelona?
Oh,
Barcelona, they are lucky that they have a very solid attack. They
yeah,
are lucky that they have one of the best build-up plays and really like solid forwards
yeah,
right now in Europe. To be honest with you, like
yeah,
Lamine Yamal is an incredible player. He
yeah,
scored today. He scored. Did you see his goal? I don't know if you saw his goal,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he scored a very amazing goal. You know, that kind of cut on your left, that kind of Salah type of goal, that kind of,
That's
typical
like a
right
Yami
winger,
Yamal.
like
Someone of
typical
his
right,
caliber should be
someone on
scoring
his
that type
caliber
of
should be
goal.
scoring that type of goal.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand? So he scored. And I'm just like, wow, incredible, amazing, right? Rafinha scored, amazing goal. But in general, I don't know.
Real Madrid,
Madrid,
they don't have a defense currently.
Bellingham looked like a shit show today.
Yeah, they don't
I'm
have a
like,
defense.
is this
The
Jude?
middle is just and
Honestly,
Barcelona,
I don't see
new
Bellingham
defenders.
he looks like he was out of form today. Like Bellingham is on the floor kicking the ball and
Mm.
cannot get his balance. I watch him get the ball. I see some passes he should just make immediately.
Make, yeah, but he's not
You turn
making.
around and want to. I'm like, what are you doing? Give the pass immediately. Like you should. Maybe I'm the one watching the game and I'm seeing this, but I feel like this is a kind of like those kind of balls where they just give you, just tap the ball into
Tap,
space for the person.
someone of his class should be
Don't
doing
take
that.
too much.
Yeah,
You're like a
touch it.
playmaker.
Yeah.
Even Vinny, I know, right? Even Vinny played like a mental case today. Let me see. I've seen Real Madrid today, and babe, they look finished. SSB is 100% right. 100% right. They looked finished. They looked washed.
Oh my
Mbappe
god.
is the one
Say,
that saved them from embarrassment today.
Vinny played brain. Was it that was Vinny's performance that bad?
Exactly.
See,
I
I
do.
don't think Trent and
Let's
Alonso.
let's hold on to that. Let's hold on to that comment. Let's actually address that comment right now. I'm actually thinking so. If Alonso comes into this Real Madrid side,
No, the
right,
way it is,
and he doesn't get reinforcement defensively, he's going to have
he's
a
done.
horrific season.
Campaign. Yeah, he's going to.
Horrific.
Yeah.
Chouameni is not anything close. Chouameni is a bench player. He should be coming off the
That's
bench.
what Kingsley. I've been saying this thing about Chouameni. When I say Chouameni is an average player, you say, "Oh, why am I dissing him?"
Forgive
Even
me
in
because I don't be
even
watching La Liga games like
yes,
that.
even as a DM, he's terrible.
He's out of
As a
it. He's
DM,
not good. He's not.
he's terrible.
He's
He's
not
that bad.
Madrid
He's that
level.
bad. He's that bad that the coach of France had to call Kante that plays in
Come.
Saudi Arabia for France.
Fun fact: if you go and get Kante right now from Saudi league, you bring that
He will
Kante that
do
we
a
know.
job. He
You
will
bring
do a
him into
job
this Real
for Real
Madrid side.
Madrid.
Kante will even do better than Chouameni.
He will
Chouameni
do a
is
job.
just nothing
Yeah.
close to it. Like nothing. Like man, Real Madrid just look horrible. The way Barcelona were playing them from 2-0, you lose the game 4-3.
4-3 was no, that's not good at all.
That's
That's not good.
crazy.
That's not good. You say Alonso got smacked by Dortmund today as well. Dortmund put four past them. I didn't watch that game.
We didn't see that game
Damn.
actually.
Maybe his
Wow.
tactics has become washed. Even in there's problem everywhere.
I really don't get this. I don't even get what's happening right now with all these teams. It almost feels like a lot of teams are just going through it right now. They're just going through either transition seasons. Almost a lot of teams are going through it. If Man City don't look like Man City, Real Madrid don't look like Real Madrid. Leverkusen are back to their old, almost back to their ways,
Default state
their default state.
before Alonso took over.
We cannot even
Yeah,
believe that Manchester United are close to relegation zone. Tottenham
Tottenham
are
to
close
close
to
to
relegation zone.
relegation
I'm
zone.
like, what's going on in football? Like, it's like an era has ended. It's like a whole era has come to an end, and teams are
And
just
yeah, I'm
going
watching
through
something
it.
different.
damn, it's really crazy. But one thing for sure, like if Barca,
You mean in the Champions League?
yes, I agree. To be honest, I don't think Barca and Real Madrid will do
Yeah,
anything. I don't
not with
think
that
so.
defense.
If you,
I
like honestly, Madrid, I think okay. There are two things we should get into. Let's talk a little bit about transfers as we're addressing this thing.
Yeah.
Madrid, what do they need? They need a proper CDM.
They need about two center backs and a four.
Yes,
In
they need
fact,
to get
they need like a Caicedo, that kind of profile.
they need to get
Someone that will come in and do a job.
a rugged,
Yeah,
not afraid
yeah,
to break up play type
yeah,
of CDM.
yeah.
They need center back reinforcement. Asensio at center back
Nah,
is a good number two. You know,
it's
you
average.
don't want to start him
No, no, no.
average. When it comes to Vasquez, sell that guy. Why is Vasquez not in Saudi? Why? I'm surprised we won't be seeing Vasquez at Real Madrid. It's time for him to go. Vasquez,
Vasquez,
sell
was
him.
he from their youth team?
I don't know. Lucas Vasquez, just sell Lucas Vasquez. Get you anyway. Trent is coming. They've already signed a proper right back. Get a good number two. Trent is not going to offer anything defensively for
Yeah.
Real Madrid. So I don't know
SSB.
why. I don't know why Real Madrid are really holding on to that Trent thing, but we'll see.
SSB same. We slandered Mbappe also.
Exactly. Mbappe was
Actually,
never
he's not. Yeah.
the issue. Everybody
I
had a
think.
very
I
high
think.
expectation, but it was
Yes.
never the
This.
issue.
I think the problem started when Kroos left.
Left. Mhm.
Kroos left. Modric ran out of legs. Because you notice some games they'll bring in Modric. He had some magic then. Small magic. You just spread that long ball and do something, right? But he's gone. He's almost 40.
Mbappe is the best and informed Madrid player right now. He's the only one that looks good. Looks good on
Vini
the
has no
ball.
idea. He said
Vini, I don't
Goulier
know what's
had a
wrong with him.
stinker cooked at halftime.
Madrid needs to retire. I don't even know what's wrong with him. Modric,
Modric,
they should not renew his contract. They should just let him go. Like, guy, quit
he
football.
doesn't have the legs. I don't think so. He should just be part of the coaching staff if he
It should
wants to.
just he can just go and sit down. Yeah, but yeah, Real Madrid, man, they need surgical changes. All this they are going for Hendrick, inexperienced boys, and they should stop that nonsense.
Nobody, but the thing is that he said,
Because
okay,
Arsenal is going for Zubimendi. Madrid, you cannot go and get Zubimendi.
Mendy, exactly,
Like,
exactly,
what's really wrong with Madrid? Really, what's really wrong with
exactly.
them? Like,
Yeah,
you guys are calling, like, that's the problem about football these days. Like, so a lot of players are so overhyped, and I
yeah,
think Madrid, if they are not careful, they'll go for overhyped talents,
yeah.
right? I know, like
SSB is saying when Real Madrid got Kroos from Bayern, that kicked
that kick
that
started the dynasty,
yes, they
right?
didn't win three in a row without Kroos.
Exactly,
Exactly.
that kick started that dynasty. Like, they need to get that.
Yeah,
They need to. In fact, you know what? Let me
yeah.
say it again. They
The
need to replace
base
Bruce.
of the midfield and the
They
defense.
need they need to go for midfield reinforcements. They need to go for defensive reinforcements. They
Defensive,
have
yeah.
the forwards. Mbappe is a good nine.
But
I
are
don't
they
see the
thinking?
problem
Are
with
they
getting a
thinking
striker. They don't need
Kamavinga
it.
can do the job as a four?
He could do it actually. I think he could do it. I think he could do it.
Kamavinga
I think he could. I think he could. Kamavinga is good.
did
Kamavinga
he
is.
play today?
I don't
I don't
know
think.
actually.
I
Did he
don't think.
play? Did he play? I don't know. I don't remember seeing him. I don't remember
Yeah,
seeing him. Second half, I
SSB
kind of
saying
went off.
it-
Andrew,
look, his B looks fat already. He's a teenager looking unfit during
I
the
cannot
season.
even believe that Hendrick and Lamine Yamal are almost the same age.
Same age.
Because one is looking like a sugar daddy and one is looking like a soccer player. And I will not say which is which. But
Brother, who is the sugar daddy?
you guys know which is which. I don't need to get into it. We all know who looks like that. It's just Madrid. Honestly, Madrid is looking like a Bournemouth. They are looking like
Is
a.
it that bad?
They are looking like Madrid. They are looking like a. They are looking like a mid-table Premier League team.
True, true.
Even a mid-table Premier League team catch this Madrid today.
They might beat them.
They will show them Pepe. They don't. They anyway. Let's just leave Madrid. Let's move on. For this one,
Is it
this one straight
Kamavinga is
become.
getting sold as well? Wow, he's being linked to City. Hmm. Which position is he going to play? They already have a lot of. Is he? Oh, is he replacing this
But
this brother? this
Is it
brother
like
that is going,
who is going?
um,
De Bruyne or
De
who?
Bruyne. Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe he's
So okay,
replacing.
honestly, it's true. Honestly, it's fine. Sell Kamavinga,
But
sell
if you sell
Rodrigo.
Kamavinga, you are getting weaker.
No, but no, they will buy players, right? Sell Kamavinga,
If you sell
sell
Kamavinga, you need
Rodrigo.
at least 4 people coming in.
If you sell Kamavinga, sell Rodrigo, you get some nice midfield reinforcement, some nice defensive
I mean, you
reinforcements.
need about 5 people.
I think it could be good. I think it will be good. That's for Madrid. For
So what of
Barcelona,
the sugar daddy? Are they going to sell him?
Hendrick. I think Hendrick. Man, I don't know. It's a bit. You see this whole thing of going for young stars. I know, like in football is so young, so people are going for young stars with the hope that they grow
Mm.
into. It's like everybody. It's like everybody's falling into this. I call it the Messi dilemma. Right?
Mm. Trying
Everybody
to
wants it.
find that diamond in the
Yeah, it's
rough.
like I want that diamond in the, I want my own Messi. You know, every
Oh
team is
my
looking for
god!
that.
The
Every
only
team
person
is
that
looking
has
for
come
their
close is
diamond in the rough.
Barcelona.
Everybody's looking for their diamond in the rough, right? We want
Yeah.
to catch that talent young
Mm.
and bring him in. Do you know what crossed my mind today?
Oh.
You know this guy, Oscar Bob.
Really
Oscar
good.
Bob broke his leg, right?
Yeah.
He broke his leg and that took him out of
Yes.
football
Yeah.
for a while. But something crossed my mind today. I was like, if Oscar Bob was still playing for City, he was
He
still in form, we would have
yes.
been hearing Oscar Bob and Lamine Yamal. Because to
Yeah, he's
me,
that good.
Oscar Bob was quality enough
So
for him to
intelligent.
be
So
in those
intelligent.
conversations,
So
you know.
intelligent.
But
Oscar Bob was
it,
intelligent.
it
He's
crossed my mind
intelligent.
today, and I said I was going to say it on the stream about Oscar Bob. He does. He
Yeah.
has more talent than he has more talent than Hendrick. Oscar Bob has more talent than Hendrick.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah.
honest with you, Oscar Bob is a diamond in the rough. Lamine
Yeah.
Yamal, diamond in the rough,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Real Madrid, they don't have any diamond in the rough.
They
Hendrick,
have they
Hendrick,
have roughs.
they have a lot of rough. I don't see diamond, I see plastic. But
He
that's
said
just
Real
me.
Madrid gave a lot of these free transfer players big signing bonus. The transfer were not free.
If
If
you
you
think
think
of
of
it.
this,
That's
why?
why Real Madrid is cash trap. That's why all this, don't run down your contract and then come to Madrid. Run down your contract and then come to
Mm.
Madrid. Contacted Trent maybe a season before. Then he knew that he was going to come to Madrid. But let's see, maybe you know what? Let's charge it to Madrid. It's end of the season. They
But
played
you
multiple
know the kind of
competitions. Maybe they're
defender
exhausted.
Madrid should have gone for. They should have
Who?
gone for like Van Dijk.
I said this, didn't I say this on the stream?
Yeah, someone like
I
that.
said this on this. I'm like, I
Just
don't know
go for
why
like Van
top
Dijk.
teams are not going for a player like Van Dijk. Van
Yeah,
Dijk, yes, he's in his 30s, right? But Van Dijk
yeah.
is a bit older. But Van
32.
Dijk can
Can
give
still give
you
you three
a
years.
solid 3 seasons.
Yeah,
Van Dijk is
still give you 3 years.
fit, he's strong. Anyway, I,
Mm.
I don't want to lose Van Dijk. I'm a Liverpool fan to the core, you never walk alone. But anyways, when was this? I didn't hear any transfer news for VVD by Bayern and Real Madrid. How come I didn't see
A
this?
lot of
Was it
people
like
wanted him.
a lot of people want at some this
Yeah,
season
two
or
of
like
them
some seasons before?
this season, especially with the contract issue, right?
Oh, before he
Yeah,
signed the new one, right?
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then. Because VVD, solid player. Actually,
It's just like when Chelsea got Thiago Silva at 34. PSG say, oh, he's washed up, he's not good. He came and he played 3 seasons, right?
yeah, he played till like he was like 38, right? Or
38.
39.
He was 35 when we got him also, or
Yeah, like, and
34.
and
He played
Thiago
4 years.
solid,
Yeah.
solid at the back. Sometimes experience just counts. Experience is just better.
SSB, you're making me laugh this evening. He said Baka actually needed someone like Van Dijk, the Kumasi kid from Baka has been a disaster. He needs coaching.
Kurubasi is a warrior.
Ah,
Kurubasi is a warrior, but
no sense. No sense in battle.
all these mad horses that just they have no direction, they're just running.
It's like
That's
Galadog.
Kurubasi. It's
Like Galadog.
to me, he gives me that same vibe, like Galaga type of vibe. But
Oh my
I
god.
think I think you're right about that coaching. But like a lot of these La Liga teams defensively, they're just not up to par.
Yeah.
I don't know how Barcelona they are
For
winning this league.
Bilbao to have a good defense, they say they have one of the best defense in La
And
Liga.
they got
They got
annihilated
smoked.
and dissected by Manchester
They got
United.
smoked by the 16th person in the Premier League.
Man, La Liga defenses are a joke. They're a joke. I noticed Barca did not give up a lot of chances, but when they do, it's a big chance. Like to, I know they don't give up a lot of
Yes, yeah,
chances, but the
yeah,
moment you catch them out,
yeah,
you're going to punish them in the worst way.
yeah.
And that showed a lot in today's El Clasico game. It showed a lot. They were lucky, like the last El Clasico that was played, Mbappe was caught offside a lot. It's like Mbappe was offside.
Yeah, yeah.
Mbappe was offside.
Offside,
I think
offside.
they kind of now figured out the way to catch them at the right point.
Mm.
So the goals today.
If Barca was in the Premier League, maybe they'll be finishing 10th. Because Premier League teams, anybody that play high line,
Premier Highline is very
ah,
dangerous.
Premier
Highline
League,
is very
hey, they
dangerous.
have
It's
a
very, very
full course
dangerous.
on that one. They've learned from Postecoglou. They have the script.
I feel like Postecoglou is like almost one of the few coaches that play Highline. I wanted the Liverpool versus Gabo. Wait,
Ah,
Liverpool versus Barca like Champions League final? Is that what you mean? I wanted
no,
Liverpool versus Gabo.
in one of the round of 16
Oh,
or
I know
that
60,
one
yeah, but I
will
think
be
Barca
better.
is a little fraudulent. I know Barca, bro. But then, like Barcelona, I would say what saved Barcelona this season are their forwards. They
True.
have
They
world
create they
class.
create a lot of chances.
Lamine Yamal, incredible,
They create a lot of chances. A lot.
incredible player, incredible player. Lamine, incredible player. Rafinha was in form this season, incredible.
Yeah. Doing
Lewandowski,
well.
when he
Yeah.
was available, 10-10.
Yeah.
But their defense, nothing to write them about.
So
Next
it's
season,
not the high line, it's the offside trap as well. Yes. That's the purpose of the high line, to catch people offside, right?
boys too dangerous. I know when Club had this island, it was never this. Hansi Flick,
As the flick zone is really bad. It's like
Hansi,
Postecoglou zone is similar. It's
Actually,
similar.
I can give a take and tell you that if Barca were not playing a high line against Inter Milan and they
Mm,
had a better defense, they would have removed Inter Milan.
true.
Because
True.
Barca's attack is so solid that
Mm,
it's disappointing that they don't have a very good defense. They have one of the best, attackers in the world. Some of the best in the world. But that defense, the midfield for Barcelona is okay. It's not too bad. Pedri
mm.
and De Jong,
Yeah.
Olmo, they're okay. They're not bad. They help creatively to create
Yeah.
those chances. They're okay. But once you beat their midfield, it almost feels like that those are defenders.
They are just unknown gunmen.
They are pretenders. Those guys. They are not those are not soccer players.
They are unknown gunmen.
Yeah, but it's
It
been
is well,
crazy,
but
man.
it is nice. I want to see six Premier League teams. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
have six Premier League teams in the Champions League.
Mm.
Six, right? I want to see. I'm curious to see how far they will all go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Obviously, we see
I
how far.
think I think this season was such a big transition season for a lot of teams,
Mm,
and this season did not really. It did not. Like all the teams that won this season, it wasn't really like a convincing win. Like it was, yes, it was a competitive season, but it just felt like a lot of transitions happened this season. Liverpool
yeah,
got a
yeah,
new coach.
yeah.
Pep is
Bayern
not
got a new
Pep.
coach.
Bayern got a new coach.
Ancelotti was getting tired of the
No,
job.
Ancelotti doesn't have
Yeah.
ideas.
Chelsea got a new coach too.
Chelsea got a new coach. Manchester United they changed coaches midway.
Yeah.
Things are just up and about. Tottenham, nothing right them
Postecoglou was
about.
just, yeah,
Arsenal too felt like they were still recovering from
yeah.
like last season. It almost took them a while to really get into the season, but it's crazy. EPL has the highest UEFA coefficient already. Just yeah, exactly, bro. Like EPL, I have to give a lot of respect to EPL teams, man. I have to give Jordan Hyman. That's great. I do you too. Shout out to you, man. Jordan, welcome to our stream.
Yeah.
What team do you support? Let us know what team you support in the chat. Thank you for joining our live. But to be honest, EPL, they really impressed me, doing so
Yeah,
well in Europe, and even just having you're just impressing us EPL fans to know that we have our to see our
yeah,
teams even play in
yeah.
these
I
competitions and
hope
stuff is
all
really
of them.
nice.
I hope all of them go through, or even if it's five, we get five out of the six.
But now that
I'm
is
good.
now that Champions League is like league phase, I'm like,
Um,
how many EPL teams would be in that top?
uh,
Oh, I'm a Liverpool
never,
fan too as
never walk
well.
alone.
You never walk alone. Let's go. Shout out to all the Liverpool fans in the chat, man. Like, you guys
We
are
have
awesome, man. You guys, we
so,
won the league. We are going to Champions League next season. We have like one of the most complete teams in Europe. I don't want to go on the Liverpool tangent. I know I was saying something before, but we
ah,
have
ah,
like almost the
ah,
most complete team
ah.
in Europe.
Today
Solid
today
defenders.
you almost got embarrassed by us now.
We almost won, right? We almost won that
You
league.
almost lost too. You
We
did almost,
almost, if fair, we almost lost, but we almost won. If not that Anthony Taylor that blew that
what did
free kick,
Anthony
free
Taylor
kick
do?
against us, we would have won because we had a chance, right? We had a chance,
True,
but
true,
they took the
true.
goal away from us. But anyway, shout out to all the Liverpool fans in the chat, man. Shout out to you guys. But yeah, I was saying before, like, league phase.
Hmm.
I wonder how many EPL teams will be in the top eight because the top eight go
Because
right.
now it's going to be serious.
It's good.
Yes. You saw this one, right? Trent was good. I didn't really like it. I didn't really like it.
Yeah,
I didn't
Trent
really
was Trent. Yeah, even the free kick from Trent. Like, man, I just feel so sad. Like, I'm such a huge Trent fan. He's our boy, he's our academy boy. Like, you guys are treating him like he's a sellout, like he's a rat. Come on, Liverpool fans, do
done a
better.
lot.
Come
He's
on,
done a lot for the
let's
team.
not do that, man. Like, remember
Yeah.
Trent. Remember when I think of Trent, one particular moment comes to my mind. That
What moment?
pass, that corner kick pass to Origi that he scored against Barcelona.
I
That
still
alone will
remember.
never make me hate
I
Trent.
I
Come
still
on,
remember.
you
I still
guys.
remember.
Trent is our boy. So let's no hate to Trent. Let's go. I talk all things Liverpool content. I'm on road to 3K. Big shout out to you, man. Jordan, yo,
We should do a collab
you
one
should
of these
join
days.
our our live. We go live practically almost every day. So you should join
Yeah.
our live, man. Big shout out to you. Thanks for joining the stream. Let's see.
See, I noticed that
I know, right? I know. Yeah, I start trying going at Conor
yeah,
Bradley
yeah, yeah.
Conor Bradley is a right back, traditional fullback
He was
defender.
trained as a right back. Yeah,
You
he
understand?
should.
That's Conor Bradley gives you your traditional
Now,
fullback.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He defensively sound.
yeah.
Left to me, I think if we're going into the summer transfer to really buy players to replace Trent, and we're
Mm.
going for like a Jeremy Frimpong, I really think that we're just going for Jeremy Frimpong so that we don't overplay Conor Bradley. I really want and slot to kind of like give Conor Bradley a
Yeah,
chance,
yeah,
but
yeah.
also have
But
that Jeremy
you guys
Frimpong.
still need a
You
right
know,
back.
yeah, just to create more
Yeah.
depth in that position, just in case.
But
Because
if this other guy is he still there, there's a guy that plays center back for you guys.
um
What's his name?
Gomez, are you talking about
Gomez.
Gomez?
Yeah,
No,
Gomez can
Gomez.
do his
Gomez
job.
is a player that can play
Anything.
anywhere in that back line, right? He can
He
be
just
center
go
back, right back,
fully,
left
he
back.
can't play.
It's just yeah. It's just that, right? Gomez is a good, gives that good one. I think we need a creative left back. Yeah,
Yeah.
Robertson is
You need that guy from Bournemouth. I've forgotten his name.
Robertson is just not up to par. He has just not been doing well. But we have Simikas. SSB, is it the chance for us to give Simikas a chance at left
Simicas is
back?
just okay. It's not really.
Really, you don't think he's good enough?
I've not really been like impressed with the performance. He's been okay, but not at that level. You guys want to challenge for the league next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need someone like the guy
Nuno
plays for Bournemouth.
Mendes, like in Nuno Mendes.
That would be too much. That's cheating. That's cheating, Kingsley. We didn't say go
Why?
that far. We didn't say go that far.
You
Go
need
to
someone like
Bournemouth
that,
and get their left back and be done. Nuno
okay,
Mendes, that's really high.
man.
Nobody be
Imagine
able to get past that guy. We don't want that.
we get Nuno Mendes. What? Nah, guy. What? We're going to destroy. If we
Nobody will
get,
say Nuno
I think
Mendes.
for Liverpool going into this transfer, get your left back, right back, get a striker, like a proper forward.
But you guys need to buy players now.
Yeah, I'm telling
You
you,
need
it's
at least 4 people, 3 or 4.
coming into the team.
Three, you
Yes,
need left back, you need right back,
yeah,
right? And you
100
need a striker.
100%.
And you need a striker,
100% agree. 100%
right?
agree.
So
Yeah. Indeed, yeah,
DM.
we need a DM as well. To me, Macalister, Subograva are all offensive. Yeah, they're all offensive minded players.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Gravenberg is doing a good job in that
Grava he
DA.
does. Yeah, Grava does well. Do you
Yeah.
know one thing though? I feel like Batechi should come back because Batechi is a player that
Where is
we're
he?
trying to give. I think he's on loan to. I can't remember. He's on loan somewhere. I can't remember the club he's on loan to. But Batechi is a player that can play that CDM very well. You know, we tried him during when Klopp was here. Klopp tried him. He looked good. Didn't look bad. I think the plan is to bring Batechis over for preseason. Let him have a preseason with
Yeah.
the team
Yeah.
and see how he looks like. I feel
Yeah.
like Batechi comes back for preseason. He does well. I
Yeah.
me personally keep him. Right, he's a young player. He can really learn from the senior players in the
True,
team,
true, true.
and some things are not always about money, right? So if Batechi is good, I don't really think we need to go out there and spend that money. I would rather we spend
But
money on a forward.
do you think okay, maybe we'll use this to round up. Do you think
Hmm.
Liverpool will challenge for the you guys would win the title again with this team if you don't bring in reinforcements?
No,
Thank you.
no,
I think the same thing too.
we will
If you
not.
don't buy new people, you can't win it. I'm sure.
Arsenal have Zubimendi. Here we
Zubimendi
go.
now.
That's the here we go.
Yeah.
Arsenal are going for this Portugal guy. I can't pronounce his name.
Gyökeres.
Gyökeres. They are going for him, right? I know
And they are
Man U.
going for the Atletico Bilbao guy, the left winger,
Nico. Is
Nico.
it Nico Williams?
Because yeah,
So I think like you see Arsenal going for those reinforcements. Arsenal, they are
mm,
very very serious.
yeah,
They know they did not have like the best season, so they
yeah.
really really want to have a good
True,
season,
true,
right?
true, true, true,
Man
true.
City too, they are going to get better. This season is just a transition season. Liverpool
But
fans, let's not
yeah,
be.
but I don't still see Man City winning the league. They will challenge for the league, but they have a lot of people that need to leave that team.
City, right?
Silva, De Bruyne, there are
Yeah,
a lot of them,
true,
like three of
true.
them that need to leave. That are old.
Yeah, but like what
Yeah,
Austin is saying, SSB said Liverpool can challenge because of the defense. That's true because
mm,
defense. We all know defense will win you
yeah,
trophies.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but Liverpool needs to reinforce. It's good to have a solid bench.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
and I think
depth.
that's
Depth
one of the
matters.
things you complain about, that you guys don't have the bench, right?
But we have people that, yeah, we don't really have that much depth in certain positions, right? I'll
Mm.
say just in specific positions. Like if you think of that CDM position, Endo is good,
It's okay.
but
It's okay. You are
Endo
seeing
is
what Caicedo
more.
is doing and Lavia.
Yeah, Endo
Don't
is.
you wish you had one of them?
We told Caicedo to come.
He
He did not
said
want
no.
to come, but
Lavia
at least
said no.
he gave us guard of honor, so we can move on.
Lavia said no.
We can move on from. I've moved on from Caicedo. In one of those breakups where you just like you move on quickly. You know, I was so hopeful when Caicedo would he come to Liverpool. He decided to go to Chelsea. I moved on.
Yeah, even
City,
Lavia.
Liverpool, even Lavia too. Yeah. City, Liverpool, Arsenal, even Chelsea will be better next year. 100% agree. If
Yeah.
Chelsea leave Maresca,
I think they should leave him.
I
Just
think
leave
I
him.
think if they
Leave
leave
him.
Maresca,
Buy a
will
striker
be
and
good.
a goalkeeper. That's all this team needs.
In
Striker
fact,
and
and
goalkeeper.
in fact, just buy a goalkeeper.
That's all.
I don't even
That's
think
all.
striker really is your guys' problem. I think
Yeah, you can even manage. Yeah,
Sanchez just fails you guys.
too
Sanchez is
much.
just not
Too
good
much.
enough.
Too much.
He just isn't good enough. So
The
get
amount
a
of
good
times
goalkeeper. I
he's
think will be
failed
better.
us, if you add those points, we could have even been second.
Fair, fair.
Right? So
Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be
what's your
crazy. Like
final thoughts?
a lot of things are crazy. All right, final thoughts. So my top five, guys, I
Forgot
forgot
about
about
Newcastle. Newcastle too will be
like
there next season.
man. If FSG disappoints me this transfer window,
They need to buy.
I'll be really really pissed if FSG don't get proper reinforcements this transfer window. I'll be really pissed. But
Yeah.
anyways, my final thoughts, guys. I think it is really really impressive, right? That
Yeah.
the top, like we have like almost 6 teams from EPL that are going to go into Europe next season,
Champions
and
League, yeah.
into Champions League, and we could have possibly 9 teams from EPL going. in a
Yeah.
general, being European competitions, right? Including
Yeah.
Europa and whatever. But my final top five, if I could predict the top five teams
Okay.
in the Premier League, I'll go Liverpool, obviously. I'll
Mm-hmm.
go Arsenal. I'll
Mm.
go I'll go City. I'll go City.
Mm.
I'll go Newcastle, and I'll
Mm.
go Chelsea. In no particular order. I'm not sure how that order will be, but
Okay.
I'll go that as my top five. Right.
Actually, those are the strongest. My own final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Top five.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel Aston Villa can finish in top five. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If I was to do top five, I'll go Liverpool, Arsenal, Man
Mm-hmm.
City,
Mm-hmm.
Aston Villa, and Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be my top five. Newcastle sixth,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Aston Villa and
Of
Nottingham Forest
course.
seventh.
Of course.
Right. But you
Of
never
course.
can tell.
Is it, I feel like Villa are a wild card.
Yeah. That's it. Nobody's looking at them, but they have two easy games. Not easy, but they play Tottenham and Man U.
Mhm.
Those are their last two
Mm.
games. Those are people that are giving up on life,
Mm. That's
right?
true. Mm-hmm.
Relegation teams, playing relegation teams now even hard.
It's even hard. Even
Because
though they
those
are
guys,
relegated,
they
they
are
make
trying
it
to
so
just
difficult.
freestyle and be themselves now that
Yeah,
they are relegated. But you
that's
see
true.
Tottenham and Man U.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah. So
Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest. Okay. Austin is saying Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Newcastle,
he
Nottingham Forest.
doesn't he doesn't
Oh,
like Chelsea.
wow. So you don't think
He
Chelsea will finish
doesn't
top,
like
top five?
he said he wants us to go and plead with Abramovich. We've
He
done the
said
sacrifice already.
Austin is sending Chelsea to Europa. Like this.
He sent us to
Damn.
Europa League before season started. So
Damn, wow, that's crazy. But you guys, shout out to SSV, Austin, Jordan, all of you
Dorcas,
guys, Dockers,
people that
all of you that
join,
joined our live. Big ups to you guys. I really
even
appreciate you guys
Jordan
for
too.
joining.
Yeah,
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys for joining our lives. We'll see you guys.
yeah,
We're trying to stream every day. We're trying to come live every day as much as possible. So we'll see you guys possibly tomorrow. But you guys, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Have a
yeah,
good week. We'll see you
yeah.
guys. All
See
right.
you.
Bye.
Bye.